Hey guys, welcome back to another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video. Hope you guys enjoy this. Subscribe if you're new. And we're going to go ahead and talk about two different team options, one with LRs, one without LRs, for the new Majin Buu Saga category lead that Vegito is. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy this. Let's go ahead and talk about it. So, this is the team that I came up with. It's very good, very cohesive. You guys know that my thing when it comes to these, and I haven't done so many lately, is because the category system kind of makes this really hard and tedious because of the fact that there are so many units in these specific categories that can be viable on these teams. Now, I don't do them very often because of that, but I still took the time to do this one, and it took me like 15 minutes to figure this out, in all seriousness, because it's really easy to say, hey, I'm going to grab the highest attack units, my most notable units, and just throw them all in one team and just go from there. That's perfectly fine if that's what you choose to do. But I'm like I said, I like to be the guy that supers with every attack, every turn, and we're good. So that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. So honorable mention goes to Candy Vegito and the STR Vegito. Honestly, you can run either of them on the team. I hate Candy Vegito. I'm sorry. I don't think he's good at all. High chance to dodge is incredible. I love that. Everything else about him I think is garbage, but that's just me. Also, I'm kind of salty that I've had like 20 different 100% Candy Vegito things sent to me, and people have asked me, like, is he worth it? And I'm like, no, he's not. But again, play how you want to play your game. I just, it's your game, your account, your orbs, but you get me. No, he's not good, but the dodge is awesome. And then also, I'm not going to talk about the people that need him, right, for that last slot on their team, last couple slots. That's perfectly fair. So anyways, in all seriousness, honorable mention for him. If you need him for this team as like a last unit, you can, because, man, he links well with this team. He really does. Like, he has Infighter, I think, which is one of the attack links that's here, but I said Infighter first because I'm wondering what he links with Gohan with. Can you show me the links? Yes, he has Infighter, he has Shocking Speed, he has Power Bestowed by God. I don't think he has Fused Fighter, though. No, he does not have Fused Fighter. He has Infighter with Vegito along with Power Bestowed by God, which Infighter was updated to being a 10% attack and defense link. We'll talk about that in a minute. He does not have Fused Fighter, which is interesting to me, but he has Over in a Flash. Again, the weird thing about Candy Vegito is I could swear that Vegito was Super Saiyan when he fused into Candy Vegito, or when he turned into Candy, but it is what it is. He has Over in a Flash, though, but just cool with the Gotenks and with the Goku on the bottom. Yeah, so he links really well here. And then, of course, this guy links well, too, because he has Fused Fighter, Prepare for Battle. He also is a 2-key support unit. I did an individual showcase for him, so you could run him on the team, and it just makes it a little bit more consistent. Again, Power Bestowed by God is in here, too, in some spots. Very good unit for the team overall, but just individually is underwhelming. Also does not go UR like Candy Vegito does. But in all seriousness, though, this new Vegito is basically, literally, in all seriousness, he's literally AGL Super Vegito with a 10% per hit, up to 100% stack on him. So literally just a power creep version of AGL Super Vegito, which is perfectly fine. But we complained about physical Gotenks not being original, even though because he's exactly a retread of the tech one, just buffed up for today's current game. But Vegito probably epitomizes more of that than the Gotenks do. This guy picks up the Super 17 mechanic, and he trades in Shocking Speed for Infighter. So does not have Shocking Speed, which kind of sucks. I would honestly rather have that, but it's a nice link on the team. This guy also only mitigates 50% damage, which means every now and then he'll take triple digits, quadruple digits, while regular AGL Super Vegito mitigates 80%. It always takes double-digit damage. But again, that's so small. Either way, it doesn't really matter, right? Also, with more potential, it goes down to double digits because Vegito Blue mitigates 30%, and he already takes double and triple digits, so it doesn't really matter with the potential system. So I wanted to make the team this way, and as far as this goes, the options that you have are vast. The one problem that I had when building this is that I didn't want to funnel too many physical units into the team because the category simply has a lot of physical units in it. And when I sat down and thought about it, the last slot was actually occupied by the Vegito at the bottom, when it could have also been occupied by the physical Gohan Rebirth that came out relatively recently. This guy right here, he could have taken that spot too. Doesn't actually matter. It depends on your playstyle. And I'm going to cover that really quick because people try to argue with me and say, oh, one has Fierce Battle, so that's better. No, it doesn't really matter, right? It doesn't really matter. This guy has 30% attack and defense. The other one has 35%. This 25% is not the same as a passive giving 25%. This is not the same. I repeat, not the same. It's nowhere near as good as a passive because the way it gets calculated mathematically, literally, is 100% different. This is more like a bonus on the super attack modifier. So this is different. And that may not even be the right terminology. But again, I have to repeat, it's been calculated. This is not substantial. It's cool to have it. It's always usable. But I always hate this mechanic anyway because it only really applies to the units that haven't attacked yet. So if you put this guy in the last slot and he gets that attack off, this is literally 100% useless. Also, he picks up Fierce Battle, but the other one doesn't have Fierce Battle, but he trades that for Super Saiyan, which is probably more relevant anyway. Also, he has Z Fighters 15% with that STR Gohan. But the real reason why it doesn't matter if one has Fierce Battle and the other one doesn't is because if you have a rotation, say right on the board, or we're going to come back to this one. Say right on the board, you already have this guy and this guy. They already have Fierce Battle. The freaking support unit doesn't need 15% more attack. It doesn't really matter. They already have Fierce Battle triggered. So that last slot could have gone either way. I personally would prefer the other one, but I don't want to have 5 physical units, including the friend, on one team, unless I'm taking on like an intelligence event. Just me, I get kind of pessimistic. I mean, you have enough tanking with the Vegitos. You have the ceiling and stuff like that to where it probably shouldn't matter. And also critical hits are a thing if you're taking on specific events. So it really shouldn't matter, but just me, I don't want to deal with that. So the last slot, I by default gave it to the Vegito at the bottom. Also, because he links well anyway. He has Prepare for Battle. He has Saiyan Lineage. He has Fused Fighter. Just overall links awesome here. Another link he has is Power Bestowed by God. So you see here, Power Bestowed by God, Fierce Battle, which, like I said, doesn't really matter, but I'll play devil's advocate. Also has Prepare for Battle and Fused Fighter. So good unit for this team. The only reason why I would have chose the other one over him is because of that Super Saiyan sometimes, because Gohan does not have it. Also, if you wanted to optimize Gohan a little bit more, you can link him with that other Gohan for that Z Fighter 15% link and Shocking Speed from the ally because this guy doesn't have Shocking Speed anymore. So it is what it is. This real thing about it is that every now and then, depending on the rotations that you choose to run, because there are a lot of different rotations that you can run one of this guy and this guy to make sure that every couple of turns you can get that seal off to where your Vegitos, the 2 Vegitos you have, everybody else can tank hits relatively well, and you don't get with a don't get hit with a super. Another rotation you can have is this guy on the top and this guy, and then float everybody else, right? Another rotation you can have is this, and it does the same thing, really. Or you can have a rotation of Gotenks and Goku for that over and a flash on the main board and float one of these guys in the 3rd slot and then keep another Vegito on a rotation with Gohan and things of that nature for just a little bit more consistency, or these 2 and Gohan floating. So in that 3rd slot, if you don't know what that means, the unit that you put in the 3rd slot comes back once every 3 turns. So if you put Gohan or Vegito or whoever in that 3rd slot, you won't see that guy for 3 turns. So the problem with that is that this Vegito has that Super 17 mechanic to where he wants to get hit and he gets gradually stronger, which is a cool thing for him. It makes him collectively, among all the hits that he could potentially do, just about the hardest hitting Transcendent you are in the game now because of that. Now, in one shot, Gogeta's still probably, the best unit you can have in that one-shot scenario, but if this guy takes a bunch of hits, he's literally can become AGL Super Vegito with a 100% plus percentage on him, and AGL Super Vegito was already ridiculous, right? A unit like him and Vegito Blue are already ridiculous, some of the hardest hitting units in the game without getting any sort of attack buff. So, you can really just kind of run this however you want. Like I said, honorable mention goes to those 2 free-to-play Vegitos. It's interesting that we're considering free-to-play units for this, but they can go in there. Physical SS2 Goku can fit in here too. He offers 2 ki. I don't really have him pulled up, so I don't know exactly where he is, but really, honestly, any Boost Saga unit you have can fit in here perfectly fine. But this is just the build that I decided to run with. I felt like it was pretty much the most consistent to where you can super attack most of the time. I don't know why this page is kind of shaky, but you can super attack most of the time, if not every single attack, every single turn. Every now and again, you probably will miss a super with somebody like Goku or with Gohan. Probably mainly Gohan because that Shocking Speed just simply isn't there, but that Saiyan Lineage is there with Vegito and the Goku, so he does get that. So, every now and again he just won't, but that's fine. He also has Saiyan Lineage with Gotenks on the left, the Super Saiyan Gotenks, and I did not know for the longest time that guy had that link. So also Golden Warrior is in there. So for the most part, everybody's fine. So my LR variant, can't really say the same for this team. They just flat out don't link well. And unless you consider, like, you know, depends what you consider well. You consider 2 links together well, then I guess they do link well. 3+ is what I consider. But anyways, mainly, honestly, 2 key links is what I consider. I'm a key whore, man. Like, I want to make sure everybody has max key or like 9+ key, because even if you manage your orbs perfectly, there could be a situation where they just don't fall right. You know, you can't control how they fall from the very back. So, you know, I just like to make sure that everybody's good. So one thing I do want to say is that the wild card here is this. They get a random amount of key every turn, so it really may not matter. And another thing about it is this guy doesn't want a whole lot of key. He really doesn't want to shoot off the final explosion. Vegeta wants to be between 12 and 17 key. That's his sweet spot. Ideally, that 16, 17 range, so you can get the most damage out of him. He's the only LR, I think, that's like that doesn't want to get their Ultra Super off for optimal output. Now, depending on the situation, you may want the Ultra Super Attack. I don't say Ultra Instinct. The Ultra Super Attack, you know, if you want to have a scenario where he's hitting everybody, but that's a little bit different. And again, Goku and Gotenks are here. They also have Over in a Flash with the Vegeta, which is pretty cool too. And again, Fused Fighter, common links here between these 2 at the top. This guy doesn't share a single link with the Vegeta. Vegito, excuse me. And the wild card, everybody's most hated unit at this point, who doesn't fit into any team on the category he's in, Weirus. Why is Weirus on every single team? Literally, why is he on every single team? Because Weirus is the best, hear me, the best single individual key support unit in the game. He doesn't give units like a flat number of key, of course. He doesn't say, hey, all my allies get 2 or 3 key, you know, but he's the only double orb changer in the game. He changes 2 colors to physical, and that works awesome for every LR that wants the key in the game. It's so crazy how this unit is like the only unit that you can viably put on just about any team, regardless of whether or not they get a buff from the category. So Weirus will help shore up some of that consistency, but Weirus alone cannot single-handedly control that. So you're going to be relying on Goten and Trunks' ability to randomly get a number of key. I think it's between 3 and 9 key at the start of the turn, which is freaking busted. If they get 7 or 8 key to begin, you know, they become pretty much the most self-sufficient LR in the game. Aside from LR Gohan, it's kind of debatable because Gohan gets that 1 extra. But, like, still, I think they're the most self-sufficient in the game. Goku, I really don't like Goku. I'm not going to lie. I really don't like Goku on this team. He could be swapped out on either of these teams, by the way, for the free-to-play Goku. That's perfectly fine, too. I don't like him on either of these teams because he really only has 1 link that's viable. And if you get a situation where you have him and Vegito, they just simply don't link well. They only link for attack links, I think, and Golden Warrior, which is 1 link. So you could get a bad scenario where you have, like, Vegito and Goku and Goten and Trunks with this team, and, like, they all start off with, like, 7 key, and they just simply, like, get 1 super in that whole rotation. It's possible, man, depending on orbs. So that's the only reason why I don't like some of these units not having, like, multiple links. But that's it. Another unit you could put in here is freaking Candy Vegito because he has Over in a Flash. Oh my god, why does Candy Vegito link well on this team too? Oh no. He links so well here. Look at all these links he shares. Oh my god, Candy Vegito, most OP unit in the game. And I hate him for it. I hate this unit so much. I'm sorry. But I'm going to do a showcase of Candy Vegito. Also, I didn't, like I said, I didn't consider 1000 Wishes Goku because nobody really has him. But in all seriousness, you could put him in. I would probably drop Goku at that point. I think Gotenks is a little more consistent because he shares the links with these guys and also the links with Weirus. Really, you guys want me to drop Weirus, but I won't say drop Weirus because then your team becomes less consistent. So, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this. Subscribe if you're new for more content. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have an awesome day. Take it easy, guys. Really quick, before we get out of here, I wanted to cover this guy because I completely forgot about him, and I wanted to say that he could be a really good option on either of the teams, to be honest, but primarily the non-LR version if you don't have the physical Gotenks. Cannot run both of them, but this guy actually links better on the team, has Super Saiyan, has Golden Warrior, has Prepare for Battle, has Supreme Power, which is another link that gets triggered in here, albeit only 1000 attack and defense, but every little bit counts, has Fused Fighter and Fierce Battle. So the only link that he does not share with Vegito, I think, is the innocence and supreme power. Otherwise, he has just about everything else. So have an awesome day. Thank you guys for the continued support. Take it easy, guys.